We've assembled a collection of resources, materials, and activities that can help foster a sense of purpose. For example, within this shared folder is an activity from the Good Project called Value Sort. So if you have 30 minutes, you can use Value Sort to understand the values that drive your work and team relationships. This can be completed online through their interactive website, or you can print off multiple sets of the value cards to complete the Value Sort individually or with a team in person. If you're completing the activity in person, it is done in 3 rounds. The first round asks you to think of an activity that is important to you and think about how you go about doing this activity. Then, sort the value cards based on their relative importance to you while involved in this activity, making sure to follow the allotment for each category of cards. For example, if you're thinking about your job and you're an educator, perhaps the 4 values that are most important to you in that role are teaching and mentoring, social concerns, understanding and helping or serving others, and rewarding and supportive relationships. Maybe the least important are power, fame, recognition, and wealth, with the remaining cards sorted across the rest of the spectrum accordingly. Record your values in the chart for round 1, or take a picture of the results of your first sort for later discussion. For the second round, sort the values in terms of relative importance to you personally. Again, following the grid and allotting cards accordingly and recording the results in the space or taking a photo. For the final round, sort your values in terms of how important you perceive them to be for a peer. To what extent do you believe they guide them? As with many of these purpose-finding activities, their power comes from the processing and discussion that follows. For example, what were the differences and similarities between how you completed the sort for yourself versus how you thought peers completed it for you? What other patterns or trends do you recognize in your group, your class, or your team? Which values were cited the most or least often? Are there any values on the cards that are important but are not included? What are they? The Good Project Value Sort is just one of over a dozen activities you'll find in the shared folder. Think about how you can use these to help set goals, unpack values, and identify the shared or individual purpose of your work and your life. Another powerful set of questions comes from an interview protocol from Dr. William Damon and adapted by Dr. Kendall Cotton-Bronk to help foster purpose finding. The point of these questions is not to stick to an interview script per se, but find out where it makes sense for you to make space for fostering purpose finding in the course of your day, and they are applicable in any classroom context. If you believe, as we do, that purpose finding is as or more important than course content, why not make purpose finding part of the purpose of your course? For example, adding one of these questions, say, what does it mean to have a good life? To a daily or weekly warm-up or bell ringer activity, and building constructive space for individual reflection and peer and large group conversation can help students understand their own values in relationship to their peers and those of their community.